All right, so we're here to talk to you about Canada, about working, traveling, visiting Canada, and hope everyone can see my presentation now. So I'm going to cover a few things today. First of all, why come to Canada? Next, jobs, work permits, permanent resident visas, and the study permit. So the first question that we might get is why choose Canada? Why come to Canada? Well, Canada is one of the most multicultural countries in the world with world-class universities, a universal healthcare system, and friendly cities. It ranks #1 as the country with the best quality of life, and living costs in Canada are competitive when compared to other top-ranking destinations for studying abroad. Job opportunities in Canada. There are a number of job opportunities in Canada, but there are areas that are in demand, and you may find that actually engineering is one of those areas in demand. There's also need for other essential workers in fields like agriculture, transportation, teaching, healthcare, and technology. Here's a list of the occupations that are in demand, and as you can see, engineers of all different types are currently in demand in Canada. And I'll just leave that there for a little second. Otherwise, Canada is quite entrepreneurial, and it has six cities that are recognized as startup ecosystems: Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, Waterloo, the Toronto Waterloo Corridor, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Quebec City. You'll find in Ottawa that there's big data analytics, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity. In Montreal and Quebec City, it hosts some of the world-class VFX studios. The Toronto Waterloo Corridor is where fintech's at. And if you're interested in health and life sciences, you're going to head to Edmonton. Vancouver is really popular with New Zealanders, and it has a number of startup ecosystems, including blockchain. There are loads of job opportunities where skilled immigrants can find professional success and advance their career. The Government of Canada has a job bank with job opportunities from around the country. You can check out the job bank for posted opportunities in a variety of sectors. It also has information about job market trends, job alerts via email, and an opportunity for job seekers to create a profile. You can go to jobbank.gc.ca. You can type in your chosen profession and find out some trends and analysis for that area that you're planning on going into. You can also see which cities it's in demand, so you can better judge where you might want to settle in Canada if you want to go. There's also thousands of job opportunities from employers who want to recruit temporary foreign workers, so people from overseas. These employers have already obtained or applied for what's called a labour market impact assessment, and I'm going to talk about that just briefly in a little bit. So working in Canada, a lot of people wonder how you can go work in another country. Well, there are lots of different work permits that allow you to work in Canada, but one of them that is a lot more straightforward than some of the others is the International Experience Canada Work Permit. And for New Zealanders, you have access to the working holiday category, which is what it's most commonly known as. It's available for people aged 18 to 35 years old, and many people who do participate tell us that through their IEC experience, they learn to be independent, gain confidence, and their international work experience gave them advantages in the job market once they return home. There are certain aspects that can vary by country, so the eligibility criteria, but for New Zealanders, it's 18 to 35 years old, and you can go and travel for up to 23 months, which, as you can appreciate, is quite a significant amount of time when it comes down to it. If you want to come to Canada and travel under IEC, you can contact a recognized organization. So some people say to us that they really want to go, but they're just really not sure where to start or how to go through the process. There are these recognized organizations which are recognized by the Government of Canada, and they can assist you in your travel. Most of them will charge a fee, and they're youth service organizations that are non-profit, for-profit, or educational. If you're from an IEC country or territory like New Zealand, you don't have to use an RO, but you can choose to use one if you want more support. If you're not from an IEC country or territory, you can only come to Canada through IEC if you use an eligible recognized organization. If you decide decide to use one, please go and check out their website to make sure that it is going to suit your purpose. Some other work permit options are a regular employer-specific work permit, which allows you to work in Canada according to the conditions on your work permit. Most of these will require a labour market impact assessment, like I mentioned. And that's basically a document that an employer in Canada may need to do before hiring a foreign worker. A positive LMIA will show that there is a need for a foreign worker to fill that job. It will also show that no Canadian worker or permanent resident is available to do the job. A positive LMIA is sometimes called a confirmation letter. You can also see that there are some other options here. So there's the global skills strategy, which is just basically some faster processing through that, and it depends on whether or not you need a labour market impact assessment. There's also, obviously business visas, which are labour market impact assessment exempt, and various exchanges with teachers and firefighters. So there's also, if you speak French, there is a temporary residence via Francophone mobility work permit option. This is great because it doesn't require an LMIA, and it may be worthwhile considering if you're reaching out to employers in Canada. We also get asked a little bit about how one can immigrate to Canada and receive permanent residence. The main way that many people will choose to do this is through what's called express entry. It's quite simple and it's explained in 3 steps, which is you gather your documents and create your profile online. If you qualify for at least one program, your application will be placed in a pool with every other application, and about every 2 weeks, the department will invite the best candidates to submit their application for immigration, and the application will be processed within approximately 6 months. There are 4 compatible immigration programs that enable you to go through express entry. So the first is Canadian Experience Class. The second is the Federal Skilled Trades Program, the most popular program, which is the Federal Skilled Workers Program, and finally the Provincial Nominee Program. We're also going to just quickly go over the National Occupation Classification. I apologize, I moved on a little too quickly. There are 5 main groups for the National Occupation Classification. That's NOC 0, A, B, and C/D. The professions in these groups in this table are examples to help you understand where your profession may fall, and they're not exhaustive lists. So level 0 is for positions in higher management, like CEOs and directors. Level A includes positions for professionals where a university degree is generally required, like engineers. Level B includes specialized professions such as construction workers and chefs. And C/D are positions with moderate or low qualification requirements. In general, to qualify for these programs, you will need a year of full-time continuous experience at levels 0, A, or B of the NOC to qualify for any of the immigration programs. So the best known program is the Federal Skilled Workers Program. In general, the 2 main requirements are 1 year of qualifying work at 0, A, or B, and a minimal language requirement of Canada Language Benchmark 7. So for your skilled work experience, you need to have at least 1 year in the last 10 years before you submit your electronic application of full-time continuous work experience. You also need to have educational credentials from Canada or from an overseas institute with a credential assessment. If you meet all the minimum requirements, your application will be assessed based on the selection criteria in the Federal Skilled Workers Points Grid. There's also the Provincial Nominee Program, and each province will have its own program that sometimes works with express entry. If you're interested in working in a specific province and you have the skills, education, and work experience to contribute to the economy, this may be something worthwhile to look at. You can visit the website of the province where you would like to settle to find out how to apply and whether you qualify. We also have the Canadian Experience Class, which involves studying or potentially working in Canada in one of those NOC 0, A, or B categories. And then you do that year of skilled work, and then you can move into the Canadian Experience Class Permanent Residency category. Going to talk a little bit about studying now, just briefly. So if you are interested in going over and completing postgraduate courses in Canada, this is the slide for you. The place to begin for that is educanada.ca. You can go in, you can search for the institution or the field of study, and you can see how much it might cost to study in Canada. You can select the programs you're interested in, determine your living situation, and the year you plan to start your studies to find out a cost calculation, basically. You can also see here that this is the summary table of working possibilities per type of institution. Only private colleges and language schools have limitations in terms of working during and after your studies, and the postgraduate work permit allows international students to stay and work in Canada for up to 3 years. And the working experience gained can help you qualify for permanent residence in Canada. So that is, if you do a year of continuous full-time work in NOC 0A or B, you will be able to potentially progress to immigrate to Canada. So based on this rather, I guess, swift overview of everything to do with Canada, you can see that there's so many ways to come to Canada. And we discussed a little bit about coming as an immigrant or as a worker, but even then you still have a little bit of voice in that matter. It is normal to get a bit lost, so you can use the Come to Canada tool on our website. The other thing is, if you would, so you can scan this code to check out that thing. Otherwise, if you really do want more information, a little bit more information about what we've discussed today, we have a slide coming up in a second about for you to scan this code, and you can go on to this questionnaire, fill it out, and we can send you more information at the end of this. Otherwise, if you have any questions, we would love to try and answer them for you in the chat box quickly if we have enough time. And yeah, thanks all for listening.
Thank you so much to the two consultants, representatives at Consulate General of Canada. We've still got about 2 minutes until the next presentation. So if any of the students have any final questions, don't be shy. Feel free to ask away.
Yeah, and feel free to scan the code, and you can also send us questions through that, and we can help you out with answering that. But we've also thrown a lot of links in the chat too.
Capital bases of your work.
Yep, as much as we can. There's a lot to cover.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that presentation. Sounds quite exciting, actually. Even from my perspective, opportunities in Canada always exciting. So thank you again for jumping on today and sharing that information. And yeah, as a representative said, there's a lot of links in the chat, so feel free to check those out too.